How's it going, everybody? Welcome to RebelTech. Now, MSI is getting more and more into cases. We've seen that they've bring out a few ones at Computex 2019, and today we have their new Gungnir 100. Just for interest's sake, Gungnir is the legendary spear that Odin uses from Norse mythology, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But just before that, if you guys are in the market for a new super fast NVMe SSD, then RebelTech has you covered with the new SN750 range of NVMe SSDs from Western Digital, with capacities ranging from 250 all the way up to 2 terabytes, sequential reads up to 3,500 megabytes a second, and writes up to 3,000 megabytes a second. So if you guys want to get one of these WD SN750 SSDs for yourself, just follow the link in the video description where you can get it from RebelTech. So just starting off with the design first, the Gungnir 100 is a mid-tower with a more simplistic styling, but it does have this cool tempered glass side panel. It's also all black in color scheme, but of course there is some RGB because it's 2019, we do need our RGB. The top and the front panels are fully covered, so no mesh or tempered glass here, and it is also made from a plastic, but the rest of the case is made out of mostly a metal. But now, the front panel of the 100, it does feature a custom 3D printable name plates that you can install in the top or at the bottom, which you can put your own custom logo or icon on, which is quite unique. So MSI actually sent me my own custom WD logo, which is pretty cool. So I was able to install that one and just make it more of a case that I use. So that was actually quite interesting. And if you guys actually want to get one for yourself and you want to 3D print your own, you can download the files from their website and just print it yourself and make it your own cool custom case kinda. But moving on, at the top as well, you do get your I/O, which features the large power switch, 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone and a mic jack, and then the reset button that doubles as a RGB control switch. The RGB switch allows you to control the case's lighting that is built into as well. So if you do have your RGB fans, your RGB light strips, and all of that connected to the case, then you can control everything just through that single button. It does have a bunch of different effects applied, different colors and so on, so you can just cycle through them to choose the one you like. Then as for the tempered glass side panel, it is 4mm thick, but it is quite a bit tinted. I would have liked if it wasn't as tinted, because even though I do have RGB inside the case, it isn't as bright. So just keep that in mind. But by removing the tempered glass side panel, you're greeted with a clean and very spacious inside that supports up to eATX motherboards and pretty much any size GPU. You do also get plenty of rubber grommets at the top, along the middle, and then also at the bottom for clean cable management. The bottom is also entirely covered with the PSU shroud that also has 2 2.5-inch SSD mounts that you can either remove or you can install your SSDs there. Then as for the people who want to go for a custom loop, you can definitely do it inside the case. There's plenty of space for your rads at the top, at the front, and also for your pump. Also, out of the box, you do get 4 included fans. The front does feature 3 120mm non-RGB fans, and at the back, you do get 1 120mm ARGB fan that again you can control with the control RGB button at the front. Then as for AIOs and radiators, the 100 does support up to 360 to 420mm rads at the front for both a push-pull config. However, at the top, you can only go up to 360 for 120mm or a 280mm rad, but only also around 27mm thick. Otherwise, there's not going to be enough clearance between the fans and your motherboard. Then getting into airflow, because the front and the top is completely covered, it does limit airflow a small amount. However, you don't have to worry, you still get a plenty of airflow with the top and the front panel featuring air vents along the sides of the entire panel. As for the cooling performance, I don't have a full baseline for my cases for how they perform, so I can't say how it compares to other cases, but from the components that I use, being that everything was also air cooled, it performed quite well. All of my components had decent temperatures, so I didn't need to worry. Now, just something to mention is that the case doesn't really support any dust filters. The only included dust filter is the one underneath for the power supply. The only other you get is the thicker steel mesh that is along the air vents, but that doesn't really catch up a lot of dust, or it does still allow a lot of dust to get through into your components. So you might have to blow it out every now and then if you do have a dusty room, so just keep that in mind. Then moving to the other side, you can remove the back panel with just 2 screws, where you do also get a decent amount of space for cable management and also a proper layout for everything. Firstly, along with the 2 2.5-inch SSD trays that you get on the PSU shroud, you do also get 2 additional trays mounted vertically to the side at the front of the case. You do also get a dual 3.5-inch hard drive tray at the bottom underneath the PSU shroud that features a toolless design and that you can also remove if you wanted to make more space. The 100 also features a 1-to-8 addressable RGB LED hub for all of your fans, your LED strips, and then the integrated lighting in the case. Now, unfortunately, you don't get a fan hub, it's only an RGB LED hub, which it would be nice if a fan hub was included, because now you have to connect all of your fans directly to your motherboard. It's not a massive deal, but it would have been nice anyway. Then most importantly, of course, is cable management, the annoying thing you need to always do. So you do get a cable cover to help hide and secure most of your cables leading towards the top of the case. You do have plenty of space underneath the power supply shroud as well for all of your power supply cables. You can again remove the hard drive trays there if you want to make more space, if you do have a lot of cables, but for all of the cables that I use, it was still enough space. Along with that, you do get plenty of cable tie clips along the side of the motherboard tray and the rest of the back side to secure all of your cables. Now, as for my experience building inside the Gungnir 100, for hardware that I used, it was actually dead simple. You have plenty of space for all of your hardware, your cable management is easy, and more. If you wanted to go custom loop, again, you can do that. There's plenty of space both in the front and then also at the top. And just for an AIO, there's going to be plenty enough space, even if you want to go 360 rads, and even then a push-pull config. Now, just a mention to MSI, possibly something they can add for a future version or some of their other cases, is to add a fan tray, a removable fan tray. This one unfortunately does not. It's not a must-have, but it does make installing AIOs, radiators, and fans just a lot easier, being that you can actually remove that and then install it outside and then put it back in with no problems. So that would have been nice, not again a major problem, but yeah, it's a mention. Then just my final thoughts on the Gungnir 100. It is definitely a nice case, it's not too expensive, you get everything you really need, enough space. Building inside was, again, really simple, and it does look pretty good if you want to go for something that's more closed off. However, there's nothing really that makes this case stand out compared to all of the competitors' cases out there. The 3D printable nameplates and everything is cool, but there are other cases that does the same. It's not unique to just this case. And the design also, it's nice and clean, but it's also nothing that if you see it, you're going to be amazed at the looks of the case. Now, that doesn't mean this case is bad. Again, it's a really nice case, not too expensive, and you get everything that you really need. It's just yeah, it's not going to be a wow case. But if you're looking for a more simplistic case, and also from MSI, again, they're getting into the PC cases a lot more, then this is definitely a case that you can go for, and you're gonna have plenty of RGB, so you don't have to worry. But now that's pretty much it for my review of the MSI Gungnir 100. If you guys like this case, and maybe if you want to get one for yourself, let me know down in the comments below. I will also leave links in the video description where you can get it on RebelTech, and then on Amazon. Currently I can't find it on Amazon, but I will link there once it's actually out as well. But thanks to MSI for sending it over. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will check all of you next time. Cheers, guys.